Our mic's not on.
All right.
Hello.
There we go.
Let's try that again. Well, like we're getting to know this streaming
Yes.
studio here, and sometimes your mics automatically pop on, other times they don't. So
Here we
good
go.
job for catching that.
Thank you.
But yeah, tonight is a weather impact alert. We are talking about accumulating snowfall across Kentuckiana. We've been tracking this clipper system for you. So we're going to go ahead and give it a whirl because I know you were outside not too long ago, starting to snow across Kentuckiana here.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting to see some steady snow showers out there. I was just stepping out the studio, catching a little video real quick, and yeah, starting to really pick up a little bit, especially within the last 10 minutes, honestly. I've stepped out probably in each 5-minute interval. I've seen like at least a little bit of more coming down out there.
Yeah, and usually if we take a live look, this is from one of our cameras, when it starts to look a little foggy out there, I think that's when you know that that snow is starting to fall. So might just be a little bit wet at times, that visibility beginning to drop in some spots, but we can go ahead and take max 1 here and talk about this weather impact alert that we're dealing with. Obviously, we've been talking about it throughout the week, Thursday night into Friday morning, tracking accumulating snow showers. So if you're out tonight, obviously plan for snow-covered roads. I think we really will see better road conditions as we carry on throughout Friday morning. But we're talking a few hits of winter weather here, Matt, this week.
Oh, man. Yeah, it feels like it's been so busy lately when it comes to, just winter weather. It seems like it's been hit after hit. We just had some half an inch of snow Monday, so now at the end of the week, we're talking more snow on the way, and likely it seems like to be more over the weekend, and some bitterly cold conditions on Sunday I'm not ready for at all.
Well, and that's the thing. I know many of us are thinking about, obviously, the snow, but we need to talk about that cold weather as well, because that's going to be dangerously cold by Sunday, especially when we take into account some of those wind chills. And I just want to put this stat up here because it's been an active winter season. It's been an active December. I mean,
really has.
we've picked up more than 5 inches of snowfall here at the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport.
Wow.
Just since December 1st. Okay, sorry. I was checking our live stream just to make sure we're good to go. 5.3 inches. And I was looking up some stats because I was doing kind of a year in review thing. And where last year we had the big snow. I know you weren't here yet, but we had that big snow in January. 10.5 inches in 2 days, and our average for meteorological winter is 10.8. So we're already about halfway there,
Crazy.
Not counting the snow tonight and not counting the snow that's possible Saturday.
And not even counting the snow that's January and February.
Right.
So, oh, man, yeah, we'll see if, we'll likely see above average when it comes to that snowfall overall. But, yeah, it's honestly crazy to believe we've seen so much snow so far, and we're just getting close to the halfway point of December, but not even at the halfway point just yet.
Goodness. Well, we have some alerts obviously in place from the National Weather Service. I'll bring this full so you all can see it county by county here. But we have a winter weather advisory in all those counties in purple. So this was extended southward throughout the day today to include Hardin County, areas around E-Town. Bardstown is included in this. And then you'll notice that deep blue. That is called a winter storm warning, and that is that step above a winter weather advisory, meaning that this is where we could have the highest accumulations of snowfall. And you'll notice where Louisville is. We're close. But that deep blue could be 3 to 5 inches of snowfall after all is said and done. So part of this is we could see some snow banding, but also that's just where it's going to be snowing the longest. So that's where that's just going to accumulate. And this is kind of the big picture view. You can tell where the snow is coming from.
Oh, yeah, you certainly can.
A clipper, right?
Yeah.
So that's been moving in from the northwest. This is called an Alberta clipper because it comes from Alberta in Canada. And Max HD radar, if you were watching during the newscast, it looked like it was starting to creep into Kentuckiana, but it wasn't reaching the ground just yet. And this is why it's important for us to look at cameras and things like that, because the radar may pick up on stuff that's not actually reaching the ground. Basically the column of the air needs to be saturated. But you were outside not too long ago and it's snowing. So
yeah, it's honestly I would say the roads are wet right now. But I mean honestly we can go back outside in about 10 minutes and that could easily change. So yeah, if you are traveling around the area, especially where you saw the winter storm warnings, I remember just out on the top of my head, I-71 has some twists and turns. So going up to Cincinnati, so that's definitely going to be a very careful area to travel overnight back into Friday morning. But anywhere you travel throughout Louisville as well and surrounding areas, southern Indiana, further south, places like E-Town, Shepherdsville. Yeah, just be careful out there for tonight as we start to see that snow. And it looks to see some heavier snow rolling in. Those dark blues you see starting to roll in really throughout the Louisville metro, creeping further from the south back into the north.
Yeah, so we will have some banding tonight. I think this will be a little bit different than the system that we had at the very beginning of the month that dropped, 4.7, 4.8 at the
I
airport.
think it was 4.7, 4.8 around that ballpark. Yeah.
That was a different setup because we had all that southerly moisture and cold air. This one's just a clipper from the northwest, but it's going to be longer duration. So it's going to just snow for a longer period of time. We'll have some moderate to maybe heavy bands at times, but it's just, every snow setup is a little bit different. So when I was mentioning, the atmosphere saturating, I looked at these dew points about an hour ago. We were at 21 in Louisville. Now we're at 26.
So it's rising.
So, yeah. So those dew points are rising. They're getting closer to the air temperature, which means we're getting saturated. It means that we're wet bulbing and that the snow is able to fall. So there might be a little bit of a mix in south central Kentucky, but we are getting that snow. And this is what I also like to look at, especially this time of night. Visibility.
Yeah.
So this is when you know it's snowing, right? Because the visibility's dropping.
Yeah. I mean, you could easily see where the snow is. I mean, Evansville less than a mile, French Lick less than a mile, Bloomington looks like starting to see that snow as well. But, I mean, you look right here in Louisville, Fort Knox, you're starting to see that visibility drop as well. And looks like Bardstown is going to be looking like the front line of that snow rolling in because you go a little bit further south, you got Springfield at 10 miles of visibility. So, that snow is rolling throughout our area very quickly.
Yeah, and so we're going to take a look out to some of our cameras. That's I-65. Sorry, the banner kind of covered it up. I-65 near the fairgrounds there. We have I-264 at River Park Drive, I-64 down in E-Town. You'll notice that camera looks a little bit frostier in terms of what's on the ground because they got some of that snow first. I know it's strange because it's coming in from the northwest, but then it's rising as it does so. And then 71 near the Gene Snyder. A lot of just wet roads right now.
Yeah.
I was mentioning this throughout the newscast that they've been out brining.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the perfect setup for a brine pre-treat because your temperatures, they're upper 20s, low 30s. So we're going to get snow and it's going to want to stick, but that's still at that right kind of temperature to allow it to melt with the brine. And we're not seeing the rain or sleet or that mixed mess that we had last time, because that was the problem. We had rain before the last snow. It washed it all away. So right now the roads just looking wet across Kentucky, Anna. And I know you have some tips for those traveling tonight.
Yeah, of course, some of those tips are with the steady snow showers rolling in, that's definitely going to cause some slippery travel. As I was just looking at one of the traffic cams we had, of course, you see the signs typically that says bridges freeze first. Well, also the snow falls on the bridges first. So I saw one of those bridges, can't remember what the traffic cam was, but you start to see some of that more accumulating a coating of snow on the emergency lanes out there along that bridge. But also the steady snow, slippery travel, and we're talking accumulating snow with this. That is going to cover those roads as we head closer to midnight fully and back into Friday morning. Also, likely by late morning, we'll be fine, though, as we'll start to see a lot of those plow companies be out and about trying to get those roads clear going towards Friday morning, back into the late morning hours.
And here's the mobile traffic tracker. So that one accident that's permanently on there, that was due to some closures around the UPS plane crash. But if you look just to the west of Louisville, that's I-64 there. You'll notice oranges and reds.
Yep.
And also some oranges and reds down near the parkways. So, roads are going to get at least a little bit wet. And then more snow covered, I think, as we go throughout the night. The road crews they're doing a fantastic job, but it's going to keep snowing. So they're going to have to do a lot of passing through.
Yeah. It looks like we got a lot to go as well.
Yes.
You see starting at, 8:30, so just about 10 minutes ago, we started to see that snow rolling, but looks like we got a long way to go before we're done with this.
Yeah, so this is the hour-by-hour Futurecast here. This is the HRRR model, which is updated every hour and has this steady snow pretty much all across all of our counties here. over the next few hours. So if you're not seeing it just yet, it will continue to really nudge to the northeast your direction. Centers itself over Kentuckiana, but you'll notice that it starts to lift. So our southwestern counties, areas like Litchfield, Mumfordville, down in Hart County, Adair County, you'll get some snow here. You're probably getting some snow right now. It's just not going to snow as long over you. So that's part of the reason why you don't have as high of accumulations, and you also have a slight chance of some of that mix kind of mixing in as well. And something, if you were watching, I did a live stream last night, and there's been some differences in the models yesterday versus today, and, things coming in a little bit farther south, things lingering a little bit longer tomorrow. And so that's going to allow that snow to add up a bit more than previously thought. It's still out of here tomorrow morning. I think the morning rush is looking a lot better in terms of, what's actually falling from the sky. We just have to deal with what's on the ground. And then temperatures tomorrow still warm up. Mid to upper 30s.
Here.
Yeah, lower 40s. So basically we're going to have a low down to the south, and that's going to nudge those temperatures up. And so we should still see, I would say the roads should be in very good condition tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. By late morning, afternoon hours, those roads should be, pretty decently cleared, especially with the warmer above freezing temperatures that we'll see, especially by the afternoon hours. But, yeah, I'd say between now and throughout the early morning hours overnight, that's when you'll start to see the most deteriorated roads when it comes to at least those snow-covered roads out there for you. Going into especially early Friday morning. So just as our morning show starting up around 5 a.m., you could still see some dicey spots out there.
Well, now, as we know, a lot of times it tends to be those neighborhood roads. And once you hit the interstates, it's like smooth sailing.
Yeah.
That tends to be the case. And I don't think we're going to see the snowfall rates that we saw with that last snow that, Matt, you got to drive through that one morning.
Oh, yeah.
Coming into work.
Yeah, it was a little dicey at times.
Yeah.
And we went into the neighborhoods. My photojournalist, Hayden, we went into those neighborhoods, barely plowed on some of those streets. Some of them, as we went throughout the morning, started to get more plowed. But, we were kind of some of the first snow marks or snow trails you saw through those neighborhoods that Monday morning it was, I think.
Yeah. But this is a look at our snow map. We have it here. I'll put it up full. I'm not expecting to really make any more changes to this because once an event starts, you're kind of locked in.
Yeah.
Unless we see any craziness overnight and we need to move it. But the changes today is that everything started to nudge a little bit south. So, Louisville, this time yesterday, it looked like Louisville was going to get 1 to 2 inches. I felt pretty comfortable in that.
Yes.
Higher bands to the north and northeast. Well, what happened was that higher band continued to nudge its way to the south. And that is really how this event's setting up. It's diving in a little bit farther south than originally thought. So that's allowing, Louisville to kind of be in that sweet spot where we're going to get just snow for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the model guidance, 2 to 4 inches feels pretty comfy for Louisville. We could get a sharp cutoff in the southwest corner of the metro, but I think you're going to see that sharper cutoff south of the parkways. Inch and a half is what I've been seeing lately for E-Town and Bartstown. Know that these things can always nudge a little bit, but
it can always change. Even with the last system we had rolling through, we had some areas in the Louisville metro 4 inches, but you go even 10 miles across the city or further south anywhere, and you're at, an inch less. So it can really divvy up very specifically when it comes to these snow amounts. But I think one thing we can really tell you, it is going to snow, and most spots we'll see up to an inch of snowfall.
Yes. So heaviest bands along and north of I-64. I would not be surprised to see a few 5-inch totals where we have that winter storm warning in place. So that's Orange County, Washington County, Scott, Jefferson, Indiana. So Jefferson County, Indiana, Floyd, Clark, Oldham, Trimble, Henry, Franklin. Sorry, I'm also looking at our comments at the same time. How are the roads in Shepherdsville? Everything right now still looks pretty wet. Indy totals, I would say Indy is actually trending a little bit down because that stripe is between Louisville and Indianapolis is where the highest amounts will be, Christopher. I would say Indianapolis is now kind of in that 1 to 3 inch range on the other side of this heavy band. We are starting to see snow. Yes, depending on where you live in Kentuckiana, we are beginning to see that. But so heaviest band really along north of I-64, especially where that winter storm warning is in place here. But we can loop back, obviously, to what's happening right
Mhm.
now, but I want to take a look at our next snow chance because it's something I haven't been able to really talk about much in
Yeah.
our newscast because it's been so busy this evening. But we do have another snow chance to
Yeah.
talk about on Saturday.
It just keeps coming and coming.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get a break throughout the afternoon, evening hours of Friday, and especially into Saturday morning. But we will start to see more snow likely on the way for us as heading towards Saturday evening.
Mm,
And it's honestly, we've been talking about this. We talked about it with John Gordon. After that snow rolls in Saturday night,
hmm
it's going to get pretty dicey outside when it comes to those temperatures really dropping quickly, well into the teens, single
hmm
digits. We feel like temperatures talking into the negatives, even below zero.
Yeah. So obviously, once we get past tonight's snow, we'll be talking about this one a lot more frequently on our newscast tomorrow and into Saturday morning. But as Matt mentioned, this snow, we may not see as much accumulation, especially in Louisville, but what falls will stick.
Hmm.
That's the difference between
Yeah.
tonight and this Saturday evening snow is tonight's snow, the roads should be pretty good.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's going to accumulate, it's going to be slick at times, but what falls Saturday night is going to be harder to clear and harder to, shovel and harder to, you're not going to want to be out in this Sunday morning trying to scrape off your car. So that what falls Saturday night is going to stick. It does move out very quickly Sunday. So if you have plans Sunday, no, there's not going to be snow falling from the sky, but there's going to be those brutally cold temperatures.
Oh, yeah.
And I have, these are two of the long range models for the additional snow. So this is not tonight.
Hmm.
We're looking forward to Saturday now. This is just Saturday's snow. So, for Louisville, it's maybe an extra inch or two. It is trending highest just to the north, more so in Indy to Cincinnati, and then a sharper cutoff to the south. This is a European model. The GFS actually is like doing something wonky where it's to the north and then you
Dives
see
back.
that weird little like white,
Yeah.
like dusting to an inch to the south. Yeah, so we'll see. Obviously, we'll really fine tune that forecast once we
Mm.
get past the snow tonight. But we are looking at a very cold Sunday.
8 degrees.
Yes.
Oh, 5 degrees.
5, yeah. If you've been watching this week, these numbers have slowly but surely decreased. And this will be dependent also on how much snowpack we get. But, if you have a north or northwest wind over snow, that's just going to drop those temperatures. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're talking 15 degrees. You see it right there. Downright frigid is what it will be. So some of the coldest weather we've seen since January, I would say. So really talking we're going from 30 degrees throughout the afternoon. I think that it will be to 8 degrees overnight. And we're not going to change much Sunday. 15 degrees, and then it gets even colder going towards Sunday night back into Monday morning, 5 degrees. And if there is any wind at all, you can feel like temperatures to be below zero throughout the overnight hours back into Monday morning.
Yeah, so we're plummeting here. If you need some good news, it's that this is not going to stick around very long. Basically, if you're not a fan of snow, you just need to get through tonight through Monday morning,
Yeah.
and then things
sounds
start
about
to get
right.
a little bit better from there. We'll start to get some melting, especially Tuesday, and more so Wednesday, Thursday of next week. We could be in the upper 50s by next Thursday.
Oh, that would be great.
So,
Man, that Arctic blast.
yeah,
it's
look at
coming.
that. And look at those areas off to our north that are going to be even worse. Like our friends up in Indianapolis,
Yeah.
and Louisville, yes, even us, we're looking at sub-zero wind chills. So that's the problem is behind this front Sunday morning, we're going to have some gusty winds. Nothing too dramatic, but enough to really drive down those wind chills below zero, teens for high temperatures. And then this model's not as dramatic with the overnight lows, but I'm thinking single digits again Sunday night.
Yeah,
Monday.
sure it looks like definitely single digits. And as we look at those temperatures we saw on Sunday, so you have the temperatures in the white font and the pink is the wind chill. So in Milwaukee, Chicago, into northern Indiana, so we're talking places like South Bend, you're looking at feel like actual temperatures really into the single digits, closer to zero, sub-zero. So it is going to be cold, especially near the Great Lakes. But I mean, even into our area, we're talking temperatures possibly single digits here in Louisville, where you have that urban heat island effect. Really not going to do much going in towards Sunday, especially.
Yeah. So we're watching a couple rounds of snow, steady snow tonight. I think that probably meant to say Saturday, more snow. And then late weekend, bitter cold temperatures. So that 7-day forecast is going to have a lot of red on it, a lot of weather impact alerts. Friday, that snow will be ending pretty early. I mean, I'm thinking 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Depends on where you live. Obviously, it's going to end from the south first and then kind of nudge its way to the north and northeast. But more snow showers will kind of drift from north to south behind that cold front on Saturday, and temperatures will be dropping as that snow falls. So it's going to stick. Sunday, one of those days where you're not going to want to leave the house.
No, I mean, we have NFL football on, so yeah,
Right.
Take your spot on the couch and enjoy it, because going outside, you may want to delay Christmas shopping even, because it is going to be just cold. If you are going out, we recommend several layers of clothing and really tuck those layers in. Don't really just have the loose layers. Kind of tuck those in if you can on each layer, that is, whether it's the bottoms or the tops, to really keep yourself warm out there.
Yeah, I've learned the importance of quality boots and gloves and hats.
Trust me.
Because after living in Nebraska, I was like, oh my gosh, the boots that I had were not they were not sufficient.
It's rough. Yeah, I remember being in Toledo, and my mom sent me snow boots as she saw me live on camera with snow. So, from Louisiana, never had snow boots, but I have snow boots now.
Yeah, so be safe Sunday. But I mean, take a look at next week.
The great December thaw.
Yeah, I mean, we're back into the 40s with some rain possible late Wednesday into Thursday. Mid-50s, maybe even upper 50s Thursday. That warmer trend, I know people are asking about Christmas. Honestly, I have not even looked that far out because I've been so busy with the pattern as is. But there is some hints of it turning a little bit milder. I wouldn't get crazy about the warmth. You see these posts on socials that say, blowtorch Christmas week. Super dramatic. But yeah, maybe a little bit, definitely warmer than we've been.
Yeah.
Which I'm not complaining.
I'm not. And I remember me and you were talking about this a little earlier. I think every single high temperature we've seen here in Louisville has been below average.
Yes.
So hopefully we can get some above average just to warm it up just a little bit by next week.
Basically the first 2 full weeks in December below normal temperatures. So yeah, it's been cold. But hey, snow is pretty. So if you want to send us your photos and videos, we love to show them on our newscast. We have a weekly weather streaming show that was on right before this on WHAS 11 Plus called Weather or Not. And we're starting a weather photo of the week. So send them our direction. You can text them to us. There's a number on your screen. Here, I'll make this full so you can see a little bit better. 502-582-7290. You can email your photos to us. Or there's a Facebook group that we have, Kentucky, Indiana Cloud Watchers. So send those our direction. But this is usually the question that everybody asks, how much snow? So I'm going to pull this back up for you guys. This is what we're thinking, feeling pretty good about it. I think Louisville, 2 to 4 inches is what a lot of the model data is spitting out. And then we could have 5 inches if things kind of band up and overperform a little bit to the north and northeast where we have that winter storm warning in place. I'm still expecting those lower totals to the south, so even if you're seeing snow now, if you live in E-Town, Bardstown, Litchfield, Mumfordville, down to Adair County, just know that you're not going to get as much as your neighbors off to the north there.
Yeah. You really go in it either way, going into, Louisville area up to southern Indiana, Scottsburg, Carrollton, those areas, Frankfort especially. You could definitely see up to possibly that isolated 5 inches of snowfall with the system really going through that area, going towards tonight, back into tomorrow. So, we shall see what those snow totals end up being as we go towards, Friday morning to the afternoon. We should be getting those totals in by the end of this system and end of this event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always hard for me to sleep when it's snowing outside. I don't know.
Take pictures and enjoy it.
Yeah, it was last time. It's because we had that changeover. And as a meteorologist, I was trying to see if the forecast was going to completely bust. we changed over to snow and then we accumulated 4 inches. So
So there we go.
we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be a slick night out there as this snowfall accumulates. In fact, I can pull up, let's see, we have the radar in max 2 here. So here's the snow. Maybe not all of this is reaching the ground, but a lot of it is starting to. So those roads may be a bit wet. And we have our cameras here in max 3. I'm starting to see, you see some of that snow on the shoulder of that ramp there?
Yes.
Yeah, so we are starting to see it at least, in the medians and the grassy
Grass
areas.
surfaces, yep.
But the roads at this point just look wet. So stay safe out there. Anything else you want to add, Matthew? I think.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, just like you said, stay safe. There's going to be really a steady snow. Won't see heavy snow, but honestly, just a steady snow over the next several hours back into overnight. So yeah, send us your pictures, but also be safe while you do send those pictures, as we'll continue to see snow throughout the overnight.
Yeah, so thanks again for everybody for joining us. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Needed to turn the mics on. Learning things in our new streaming studio. It's powered by Humana. It's beautiful. You're going to see a lot more updates from us in here. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay warm as we carry on into the weekend. Matt is going to have the latest update for you tonight at 11. And then Austin will be in the morning, and I'll be back tomorrow afternoon and evening. So stay in if you can. Enjoy the snowfall, and have a great and safe night. Thanks for joining us.